Good evening, my bearded plainsman followers. So as you know, I'm doing a barn door build, and I'm going to do gardening and different stuff like that too. So this is kind of a gardening segment. I don't know if you've seen my videos from last summer or not. So I use weed barrier. I ordered it off Amazon. It's great. You order it, you stake it down using these little stakes, which you reuse them every year. Unless you want to buy new ones every year, which I don't. Anyway, you pull them up and you reuse it. I marked my fabric, rolled it up, folded it up. Then you till your garden and all that stuff. And then this next planting season, I of course tilled it and everything, and then rolled it all back out again and restake it down, and you're ready to go. All the holes and stuff are already burnt in it from the year before. So where I'm at right now is I have all my potatoes planted, and they're already, a whole bunch of them already coming up. I've got several different kinds of them, but some of them aren't coming up yet. Some of them are just starting. But I've got, what, 23? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I guess 26 planted. And I know these 5 down here on the end were purple potatoes. And that one's coming up. You can see the difference in the purple one, the color of it, and this one here. And I don't remember if this is a yellow or if it's white. I'm not sure. But I planted yellow, whites, and purples. I've never done purples before. So there's only 2 of those that are coming up. That one and that one. These other holes, they're not coming up. But anyway, so I've got this planted, and I think last week I planted all my corn, which are all these holes in here. So I don't even know how many there are here. Quite a few. And so perfect time to plant if you're not sure, but around here in Kansas anyway, when the hedge tree, hedge apples, hedge tree, when the hedge tree leaf is about the size of a squirrel's ear, or the winter wheat is as tall as a turkey's back, that's about the time to plant your corn. That's what my grandpa always said, and that's what we kind of go by, and that seems to work. So I've got potatoes, corn, and over here I've got my onions, which is a bunch of those coming up. A bunch of them aren't coming up though too, but you can see I need to come through here and weed these. Kind of just pull them out of there like that. And anyways, a bunch of the onions are coming up. A lot of them aren't though, but I guess it is what it is. So, and then over here I have my green beans. I've built 2 trellis kind of things. What these are hog panels or cattle panels. They're 16 feet long by 50 inches wide, and I just bow them over. This is the first time I've done this. I seen this video somewhere, and I thought, that's a good idea. So what it is they've got some stakes down there. I did a video on how to do a dripper, which I'll include after this video. But so let's see, the onions, because there's so many of them, I didn't want to individual dripper every one, so I just have a soaker hose, so it just kind of wets the whole area. And I think I have those go for 20 minutes, I believe. The green beans, I have a dripper at each plant. I think right now these are set for 20 minutes. My corn, these are a dripper, but the drippers are made into the line themselves. You roll this line out, and so you can see it or not, but there's a emitter right there, and they're built into this hose, this line. So it just kind of trickles out, and you don't really have to have them on every single exactly on the hole. I think this line, they're 12 inches apart, but my plants are like 18 inches apart. The wrong stuff came when I ordered it, and I didn't realize it, and so on and so forth. but I went ahead and used it anyway, and it worked just fine last year. It again just kind of gets everything wet and works pretty good. And you can turn each individual row off if you want. I didn't plant any in these. Let's see, these 2 rows. So I have the valves turned off right now. So this way, I'm just going this way, the valve is on, and this way it's off. So these 2 last rows are off. I don't know what I might plant something in here, I might not, but these rows all have corn. And of course these are my potatoes. And I had the okra here last year. I don't know if I'm gonna do any okra this year, maybe. Might do a plant or 2. But we were getting like 70 a day last year. Planted way too much. But this soaker hose is what I'm using on these, and it worked really good last year for the okra. So it was already cut and made and everything, so I just reused it on the potatoes. And they seem to be working. They're all coming up pretty nice, or most of them anyway. Here's a late bloomer here. Yeah, I seen him starting to poke up last night. A couple others I looked at last night. I didn't see anything. Oh, yeah, there's one right there. He's coming up now too. Well, hopefully they all come up. And I'm going to store them in the basement, cool room. Some people put them in paper bags. They last all winter. I put some in a box 2 winters ago, and they lasted all winter. Same with the onions. I did braided onion flowers or onion strings, and they lasted all winter too. But anyway, I'm going to do a quick video on the end of this for the dripper installation. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now. Going to do a quick video here on installing the drippers. So what I've got here, of course my green beans, they're climbers. They're going to climb up these trellis type situations. These are hog panels, 16-foot by 50-inch hog panels that I put stakes in the ground. Just kind of bend them over. And anyways, the idea is for the beans to grow up. As they grow up, the beans themselves hang down in here, and you can pick them off. We'll see if that happens or not. Anyway, I've got a 5/8, no, I think it's a half main water line coming from my controller. That goes all the way around, goes over there, comes back here, and you can just fold it over and wire it. And then I have these drippers at each spot where there's going to be my beans growing. So I'll do a quick deal here on how to install them. So what you do is I don't think you have to. Okay, so anyway, let me back up. This is what they call a stake, because it's a staked bubbler. And when you get all hooked up, you adjust it by turning this top to regulate how much water comes out of here. So basically what you do, I don't think you have to have the little piercing tool to pierce the line. I already pierced the hole, but you punch a hole in your line with this, and then you stick this in. Where'd it go? Stick this in. See, one end of it has a sharp barb, has a sharp end, and the other end has this other little barb on it. This is the end that you put this is a 1/4 inch, so you get this 1/4 inch dripper tubing, and that will slide over the barbed side. And this other side here, the one with the sharp suckers are hard to hold on to. I think you can poke this directly in the tube, and they actually have a little tool that you can stick on and push it in. But since I already have this other little thing, I just punch the hole and put this in. So what I do is I cut off, well, it just depends how long you want it, but I've been cutting off, for my situation, about 6 inches of tubing, something like this. And I get, see if I can support this on here somehow without it falling off the phone here. I need an old GoPro or something. But what you do is I get either this end or this end wet. I just kind of spit on it a little bit, like this, and you push it together, like that, right? And then you're going to stick it in this hole that you punch, if you pre-punched it like I did. Just punch it in here. You'll hear it snap in. I don't know if you heard it snap or not. And then I'm just going to bend it around like this to go in my little dripper. I'll prop my phone up again here, see if it stays up here. Probably won't, it'll fall down. I'm just going to get this wet. I don't know if you can see it or not. And stick it in right there. See there? And then, of course, I planted my beans right in here. So I'm going to get this, since I'm using this ground cover, I'm going to pull this kind of off at the side here a little bit and then put it in. I screw these all the way down so I can push this. I can use this top cap to push it in like that. And then when I turn them on, I'll adjust it. If you don't screw this all the way down and you use this to push it in with, you'll kind of strip out the little threads that are in here. I did that last night. I had it, it was up and I was pushing on it and it zip, and it kind of messed it up. So I screwed it all the way down and then push it in. And anyway, then when I turn the water on, I'll go and adjust them all just so it's coming out a little bit to wherever I think it needs to be. Anyways, that's those things.